into this one. Not to single anybody out or to put any pressure on anybody, but I would
you're going to single
absolutely
someone
love,
out and put pressure on them?
Yes, I would absolutely love Zelsis to really step it up in this one, to match that same energy on the Phoenix here, because we know what that means as an agent as a whole.
I love how that always works, man. Not to do, but then you just do it. It's like when you say not to be rude, but you're about to be incredibly rude, aren't you? But of course you weren't being rude. But it is one of those like little funny things. I don't know. I don't know why I point those things out. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. I love you, Tanner, despite popular belief.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta let chat know that we don't. No, none of it's personal. Okay, so when we say something like that, none of it's personal, and that is not all that the analysis comes down to.
Or being mean. I don't want to see any tweets. Anyway, here comes the attack right now. From V1 up into tree room, trying to split, but what a flash from Victor, and Mummy jumps out with it, and he's taking people with him and throwing them into the graves. Zelsis fights back for one, but now forced to just draw back, and Envy wipe the floor, and what a absolute statement pistol round for Envy to make in a map 3 with tournament life on the line.
Yeah, and if you blinked, you missed it, right?
Exactly.
You know the round goes quick when the color can't really hop off at any point and pass it back to the play-by-play, right? And that is just, that's exactly what we witnessed. It just happens so fast, and that's scary because the pistol rounds were already discussed and how important pistol rounds are going to be. And now map number 2 coming into map number 3, Envy are just on top of them.
Absolutely. That was, again, like a really bold round to make right away.
Early for the orb right there. So they are looking to play quite a bit around Zelsis. Gonna take another round before we can get there to see what the Phoenix can actually get done, until we can see what version 1 can get done, as they're kind of just hanging out, not necessarily hanging out on the sidelines, but with Classic in hand.
Penny, a big
really
fan
online.
of the fan, I've seen.
Yes.
Huge fan of it. How many times will he inspect it this round? Let's put an inspect counter on the screen.
Ooh, Caboose. Almost in a bad spot. Tries to use the blast pack to get away there, but tosses it a bit too far before popping it. And all the information.
Well, I wonder where V1
is. Yeah, everybody basically spotted out.
I thought that shot thrower was going to finish him off in the corner there. Zelsis is able to get the heal off just in time to kind of stay around, but again, still obviously well behind. And I mean, they're just getting stalled out forever. In the meantime, though, like, you know, Envy aren't necessarily jumping the gun anywhere. Vanity's still kind of poking and prodding from wine position towards A side. Victor might even just come out and grab him. Indeed, he's like, I'm sick of this annoyance.
Yep.
It's like a fly kind of just buzzing around your head. He's finally swatted it. A little bit easier than swatting a fly. Those things are hard to catch sometimes.
Whippy almost falling to the turret there. Now they just have to send it, right? You're running out of time, and right into the meat grinder. The paint shells, the Spectre from Caboose. He finds 3 in finesse to close it out. The best way to win your anti-eco is flawless, and Envy do just that.
I mean, I don't know that I could agree more. I don't know if there would be a way to objectively agree more.
Just feels good.
Yeah,
everybody goes into the next. You're all on Spectres. You don't have to have somebody, you know, buy just a ghost only. I thought we were gonna get the operator in this round, and Mummy, cogs are turning. He picks up a Marshall. Does look like he's just gonna hang on to that frenzy for now. No, okay. Crashy's gonna get the frenzy, and Mummy will have a Spectre, and Victor will just play incredibly aggressive. Unfortunately, one kill traded back, and Victor,
I'm digging it.
Needs to try and back away. Nice little upgrade there, and he's just going to continue to push forward. Not going to find any more kills, though. The aggression finally punished. But meanwhile, all that was happening. Mummy has taken an aggressive position inside of B main.
Yep.
And quite possibly find something here on the flank. No, Penny watching it. See if this is anything to happen.
This is a scary... I mean, I don't know about that one, Chief. That seemed a little much. I mean, I understand the idea from Victor's perspective. Like, you have a SMG, you're trying to get the most out of it, getting up close and personal, disrupt them, catch them off guard with some hot and heavy aggression. I can understand that, but that double swing out B lobby with Spectres against rifles that are likely holding position just seemed a bit odd. But, you know, again, it's a bonus round. It's understandable that you're going to have to take some risk here and there. Already got the 2-0 lead. You still got the full buy coming up next, but let's see what Finesse can do in this 1 versus 3. I'm gonna guess not much, but I mean, as soon as I say that, of course he gets that. I mean, I'm just gonna stop trying to. I don't mean to curse or bless anyone. I need to stop.
Well, you know, you always have to lean on the side. Like, you have to err on the side of caution that X player will get X clutch, because I think you and I mean, personally, have casted some pretty insane moments where you're thinking, okay, in a 1v4, yeah, hopefully you can damage the economy, and then X player does 1v4 and crazy things.
What do you mean? That Zeta ace from earlier was so expected.
yeah, exactly. That's another good point, right? Just a
boy.
Random 5K finding itself somewhere in the round.
Oh, hi there.
I think we get a 5K here in this one.
Oh, I like the idea of that.
And hop away.
The cogs are, I can see the gears turning there. I like it. Like, you know, like they're preoccupied by the drone. I can swing out Cat and kill him and blindside him, and it just didn't quite work out. So that's a great start to the round for V1, who are looking to get this B lobby control. You can see Mummy got that aggressive angle, but that bait and switch has not worked out.
Mummy's able to buy time, but it's really only to be able to back away. Nova Pulse, run it back, gonna be used. Op holding now from just on side of the site towards Boathouse. Elsis able to hit that switch and push onto the site, gonna be sent right back, and he didn't spot Crashies. So Effie's gonna fall there because the Sova wasn't spotted out, and although you have a player advantage, Version 1, it doesn't make it free to head to this B site. They're gonna try and rotate. They're gonna be met by Victor, the Nebula. Nope, not the Nebula. Smoke to go down, just a star.
30 seconds.
And that kill to follow as Vanity goes deep and aggressive. Cuts it down to Mummy, just the operator, and you have to imagine he's just going to save here.
Does seem like the most likely choice, especially with everyone else being able to full buy around it into the next round. So it's going to be a 2-2 tie. You kind of thought that maybe Indy had a chance when Crashes wasn't spotted by the ult, but not quite the case. Mummy will not save the operator, but again, there should be some credits to go around. Actually, never mind. I am horribly wrong. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, that really stings, especially because it's usually your op that's going to peek first, and then you have the rifle right there to back him up, but Boost just gets a bit too far ahead. I am surprised that they went hunting for Mummy based off of what he did to Version 1 on Haven. It was a 4v1, and he killed 3 on the way out and still survived, but I mean,
one of those things where,
there.
Unlike me, they actually did have a read on the economy properly, and they knew what it would do if they could get that op out of his hands. Which is this? Virtually nothing to work with. Victor trying to make something happen anyway with the Sheriff. Manny's wants all them stars back. Give me them all back.
Couple of ults to work with. I can't imagine we see the run it back, but
yeah, of course not.
An early kill somewhere, somebody stacked up. If Caboose finds the right spot, that showstopper could swing this round. It's still a lot of respect, a slower default style coming out from Version 1, just because, I mean, we've seen it, I think, 2 or 3 times in this series alone, where you count somebody out, and then it's just a Sheriff and popping grapes. It's a party for it. So, still a lot of respect given.
Yep. You start to kind of wonder a bit, because both these teams have like a really good defensive win rate on this map. So for every round that V1's able to collect it on the attacking side, it just gives them that much more of an edge just based on averages.
30 seconds left.
Yes, not spotted. He is going to be spotted. There's the showstopper. Good for 2. Finesse traded out, but favorable. For Envy as Penny goes towards the back lines. Now fighting behind enemy lines. Unfortunately, the Sheriff shot could go wide. It's a couple phantom shots and the paint shells to finish off Victor, which brings it down to the last couple. Caboose and Mummy. Caboose has since picked up a rifle. The spike has to get planted here. That was actually scary for a second.
Yeah, if there had been like one person on site to disrupt that, they could have won off clock. So that was, like you said, very scary. You got to give a lot of credit to Penny. He saved the day, because that Gravwell showstopper combo made you believe that Envy actually had a chance to steal this one away. They still have a chance, a 2-on-3, and they have weapons. Okay.
Ping on the spike, shots on the target. It's a 3K thus far for Caboose. Mummy has since picked up a weapon, pushing his way to the site, and chips away at Effie's 15 HP. With the spike planted, it's a showstopper in response. It's going to be traded out. This is a very scary spot here. Shock dart to go down. Mummy tries to back away. 15 health. Effie's just trying to play the clock, and he's doing it so darn well. He gets it done in version 1 for the lead.
Oh, just doesn't quite get away with that, Phantom. But, I mean, still takes the big victory, which is what matters most. Definitely can buy back, so no problems there. Still, though, a nice round for Envy, considering what they had to work with to get a spike plant and to get it into a potential 1v1 victory. I mean, that's you know, keeping your opponent's economy in check, giving you some better buying options coming forward. Mummy definitely has the operator now because of that. Run it back still available for Victor. That's the only ult on the table coming into this round, unless an AWP is collected by Whippy or Vanity or Finesse, as they're all one away from an ult. Scratches looks to get a little bit intel with this drone, and he will get a lot of intel. Yeah. There's a party over here.
Yeah, everybody's stacked up, and I think this is one of the maps where we see, I think on both ends of things, the teams fighting heavily for these orbs. Now, the B orb is a bit harder to fight for, but a lot of the times we do see teams try and push up for this orb towards A, and this is why. You put the ult in the hands of Victor, and he's typically good for 1, if not 2. This time around, it is going to be that 1 kill to come on through. Curveball the peek away, and Effie sprays them both down, so it's favorable across the board. But a huge pick up there. No, a collateral from Mummy into Tree Room leaves it down to Penny. And here comes Mr. Impact Frag with the operator in hand, going huge for this Envy squad.
Oh my, he just saved the day with that collateral, dude. You were really liking V1's chances as they were coming up. Cat, and there's still a hope for Penny. He's coming in, he's finding Mummy. He gets that. It's a 1v1, and he's still got a lot of time, but he doesn't have Spike. He's got to get to it.
30 seconds left.
The Paint Shell is going to stop the Boombot Caboose, awfully healthy, and he will find the kill. Penny did everything in his power to win the round. Unfortunately, just was not enough, and we are not at that 3.
Able to pick up that. I thought he picked up the operator at least. Anyway, let's come back to this
Spike.
That's insane.
later. Nice job from Penny, though. It was a good attempt. Oh, my goodness. And look at what it's caused. Finesse having to go for Spectre. Does have lockdown. But you could sell that their credits are really coming down. If T1 wins this round, I mean, they're laughing away at the bank. They got 3 ults in play as well, including that running back and lockdown. Those are 2 big tools to take a site.
Enemy mark.
Crashies, I mean, if not in the way of kills, so much of the MVP of information here. Every time he tosses out a drone, he just gets so much. This time out towards mid.
Yeah.
And it spots just about everybody stacked up again from version 1.
Never. Effie's getting his own good intel with that. Knows that they're having to basically play market from back halls. I mean that they're going to be able to get access to that market position for set up potential B split or a feint and a fallback, as there's still plenty of time left. And indeed, they are putting at least 1 player up the catwalk to make sure you a threat. And that's actually going to be the Spike potentially doing it. As Penny continues to put the pressure on middle with the spoon bot. Again, there's just layers to this aggression. It all leads to this climax. So Zelsis is looking to ult his way into tree.
Slow walking.
Yeah, I like that. Just kind of keeping the pace up with that. He's trying to find Victor. Doesn't do it. Victor able to stay, but the paint shells follow up with the intel. Now they get the kill. They force the door shut. Now they get to pivot back to a very vulnerable V site, and the rotation's way far off. This is great from V1.
30 seconds left.
Utility pop to try and slow things down for just a second as FNS plays inside the smoke. Should have the backstab here onto 3 members. Make it 1, spike down, another to come on through, and Zelsis will finally trade it. Lockdown used from inside of B main, and Caboose will fall. Mummy and Crashies once more have to go right back to work. And they don't have a whole lot of space to work with. Version 1, again, cutting it very close on the clock. They do get the spike planted.
Yep.
We find ourselves 3v2. Mummy a bit worse for wear as he tries to spray through the Radiant box, and he cuts it down, makes it even 2v2. Zelsis also armorless in this, so a headshot will be enough to sit him down. The nano storms to try and buy some space, buy some time. The turret now going to get the information that they're out towards lane, and I mean, Envy, you just got to send it here at this point.
Remaining. Last player.
There it is. Trade back and forth. 1v1, and Crashies gets it done, and he's got plenty of time.
Oh my goodness, what a roller coaster ride for round. I was getting ready to prepare my praise for V1 and their shot calling because I thought they did such a great job feinting, having that mid control, putting that pressure on Tree, falling back into a great beast foot off of the pick, lockdown onto site, getting a favorable 2-on-2 post plant, but every step of the way Envy found ways to strike right back. It was first that push through the stairs by Finesse with the Spectre, then it's the Cosmic Divide to make sure they don't have to worry about Boathouse, and they come in and we see Crashy's clutching 1 versus 2. It seemed like everything was set against Envy there based on the shot calling of V1 and their utility usage, yet somehow, some way, Envy throw a couple of just like crazy antics into the mix and come out on top. And now they force a save out of V1, a chance to extend their lead.
Just neck and neck, back and forth. There's only 1 round separates these teams here. Round 8 now underway. Crashy's right back to work with the recon drone. We'll find that the Owl drone not only gets the information as to where Pennies is playing, but spots the 2 members pushing up towards this catwalk. This, again, is one of those rounds for version 1 where you would love to hurt the economy. And some of these trades, they don't scream Envy, right? You do have a couple of Spectres on that squad, so if Whippy finds the right fight, if the Frenzies, you know, find those I don't want to keep saying Ferrari swing. I want to try and be more clever about it, but
Porsche swing?
you know, you go flying around the corner and you could find something. It's looking like they want to do just that. Celsius trying to push on through. Gravwell going to stop that one in its tracks as Crashies once more looks to play inside the Nebula smoke, and this is just a play for this squad. Envy gets so much done as the Frenzies battle back for 1. Whippy, unfortunately, not able to find too much, and Mummy, with the rifle in hand, cuts it just down to Whippy, 25 HP in a dream.
I wish we could slow-mo, excuse me, the layers of utility and how it was all timed. Envy perfectly stalled it 3 separate times. Gravwell first, Hot Hands next, then a pop flash perfectly timed for the swing through. They literally just riddled that push useless with this excellent layering of utility. It was just the chef's kiss like retake, basically. I mean, just the way it all came in was unreal.
And this right here, it's just all so overwhelming.
It's just like, yeah, I'm done for. So we are going to get a tactical pause coming out here from V1, and not a bad time to do it. Envy starting to get some momentum, starting to take a bit of a lead. You have your full buy finally back in play. You have your showstopper. You have your run it back, but there's an opposing one on the other side, plus a lockdown for retaking. Hunter's Fury not available for Effies to cancel it yet either. Meanwhile, Crashies has his in play for early intel or early pick if he shows to throw it out there, or maybe to stall out a plant. I mean, there's all the options.
Yeah.
The world is your oyster with you know, these types of abilities and how you want to put them into play. It's what makes the game so dynamic. Here we go. Timeout fading out. V1 looking to stay in contention. Again, attacking grounds have been hard to come by for both these squads recently on Ascent.
Scanning ahead.
Other than, of course, the big 10-round half from V1 against Sentinels, but that was an outlier. On average, again, both these teams have been kind of 5 rounds or less attacking sides a lot of the time.
Whippy creeping up to try and find, I believe, that alt orb. I thought they would try and toss that one over to Effies because he is so close, but I've got faith that he'll find it in the way of a kill. Showstopper going to be used. Shots coming down. Victor able to escape, and Whippy falls inside of B main. FNS pushes him out and finds his counterpart in that Killjoy matchup, and it was slow. They were trying to make something happen, but I don't feel like version 1 really got anything. The tags come on through. The Hunter's Fury. No, it's Finesse to pick up another kill. Walks away with 66 HP. Not long for the world as Zelsis and Vanity strike back.
Indeed, Victor, though, with the alt big kill there to really kind of put this back to Envy being a man ahead.
Oh, Mummy needed that one, so that
Yeah.
absolutely stings. And when you take a peek at this, the spike can go down,
Right.
and you've got 2 ultimates to 0. Vanity,
It's also
I'm
4
taking a peek
stars
at
in
that
play
Cosmic
for
Divide.
Vanity.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just take your pick on where you want to place that.
Ooh, Zelsis getting a little crazy here, maybe peeking a little too aggressive. No, able to find the kill onto Crashies, and Victor. Needs to try and get it done. Used to run it back earlier. Unfortunately, was sent back. Goes for the swing, and Zelsis is ready for it. A 3K for the Phoenix of version 1 as they cut down the deficit.
Yeah, they didn't even have to use their run it back there. So that's big. They have 3 alts now in play coming to next round. Finesse still has the lockdown, so that could still maybe come into play. But yeah, Mummy getting caught here was just so big. It just unlocked that A site. Zelsis catching the flank, putting Food in an impossible, Victor, excuse me, in an impossible situation there. He's going to get run through the blender with that crossfire established.
Isn't it crazy that there's a world where it's a complete name change, and we still find ourselves in that conundrum of calling Victor Food? If it was a different player, we wouldn't have that problem, but it's just so cemented.
Sure. I will say this, though. It might be one of the best rebrands in esports I've ever seen. So congrats to him on
agree.
that.
Now, back to esports. Zealous is going to run on through. Trying to find as much as he can. Picks up a second to run it back. Goes huge. 5 kills in 2 rounds for the Phoenix here. And version 1 looking to tie things up. The spike to get planted. And I mean, the Cosmic Divide, sometimes it falls flat, but used beautifully here in tandem with that run it back.
Yeah, that was big. Lockdown of no use for Finesse there. No value out of it. Finesse able to get a couple of kills there, stopping V1 from saving those weapons over. But still, all in all, a great attack from version 1. Great use of Cosmic Divide. Great use of the Victor ult. Or excuse me, the opposing ult from Zelsis, I should say. Victor's a little bit of a different story.
Crash is so far away, just going to hang on to that operator, which kind of tells you where the team is at. You know, a 2v3, if you're a bit closer, you can look for that clutch, but, you know, because of the save,
this is big,
foreshadows pretty terrible economy coming to this next. This is huge. And you know, I've heard a lot of that
second one on Caboose is unbelievable, man. That literally won the round, you have to feel. And now look, V1 have tied it up 5-5. We talked about how both these teams have struggled to get more than 5 on attack the vast majority of the time throughout this year. Now they've already matched it, and given Envy's economy, they have a chance to like take a lead going into the second half, or at least make it at worst probably 6-6. So that's a big step in the good direction for V1, and a tough pill to swallow if you're Envy.
And the thing I love most about this series thus far is we're getting essentially, I believe, the exact same maps that we saw previously.
Right.
I'm gonna hold that thought just for a second. Mummy might find something nice and early out towards mid, peeking over just outside of B main through tiles. The turret not spotting him out just yet, and Whippy, unfortunately, on the wrong side of this one. No, Zelsis on the wrong side. They try and push on back, swing back to the A site, and they're punished for it.
I mean, he may not have a dash, but he's able to at least cloak his escape with a little bit of a nebulous smoke. Not quite the same, but it still worked out for him there in that situation. So very risky play. In a round where you probably have to take risks to have success, and it does pay off. They will back up, down, just kind of play a bit more standard, as we do see V1 looking to knock on the door of the A site. They do have a Hunter Fury available if they want to use that to clear out some angles, or they could save it for post-plant. Up to them, really, as Mummy's op is here ready to go.
And this is the hero op on the round. Finds another kill. Unfortunately, going to get wall bang, but picking up 2 kills. Favorable, 2 for 1. Across the round as Crashies looks to find another, and there it is, cutting them down to the last 2. Effie's and Whippy. They've got some utility to work with. Victor pushing up with the frenzy. Unfortunately, going to be on the receiving end of those rounds. The showstopper going to push him off, but not find the kills. Only a bit of splash damage. Whippy once more takes a bit. 66 health. 3v3, shock darts to come on through. Crashies able to get it halfway. Hunter's Fury going to be used. Finesse just pushes them, runs them down. And that's really all they've got for this one. Envy has no way back on. Tosses out the recon bolt. He's eventually going to fall, and the defuse comes through. Envy pick up their 6th.
And the only way forward there was staying alive on that push, allowing that Hunter's Fury from Effie's to be able to have a little bit more impact. Without it, it was the round for Envy. Again, Mummy having such big impact. Opening pick at middle, gets away, gets another kill, almost gets another collat actually on A main.
Yeah.
Slows down the attack as well with the gravel, buying time for rotation. Ensures that his team has main advantage thanks to his op kills, and then yeah, they're able to really track down and not allow FE's Hunter's Fury to have the impact that it required. So a big round for Envy to, you know, make sure they at least, at worst, have a tie here going into the second half. And, you know, maybe a chance here to extend the lead just a bit further.
Could be queuing up the lockdown. Not necessarily a bait, but there isn't a whole lot of follow-up off the back end, right? Still has to wait for the rest of the squad to grab that mid control. Do put that down. 3 players pushing up towards that market area. And the paint shells or the blast pack actually destroy it. So not really getting anything. Version1, they've got to take a detour. It is going to be through the defender-sided spawn. I believe Victor spotted out 3. The recon bolt definitely doing that job to give away the information that Victor is here. Curveball. Not going to find anything just yet. Shock Dart chips away at the health, at the armor. Nebula smoke. Try and block, and that Finesse tries to go aggressive again, but this time Whippy comes out on top.
Indeed, he does.
Huge grab well.
Yep, this attack coming in on B right now. Whippy continuing to press forward. Another entry, this time onto Caboose. Now Mummy last standing with the op. Misses the shot. A tough one, but pulls out the Frenzy for one. But unfortunately, can't get more than that. Penny and Divinity pitch in for big ones, and now it's all on Victor, and he's not long for this world. V1 will ensure that we're on equal footing, and again, you couldn't ask for better drama. Map 3, elimination on the line, a chance for a slot at Iceland. If you can win here and go on to play Cloud9 Blue, and we're on equal footing after 2.5 maps.
So, as I was saying before Mummy kind of hopped off earlier, these are the same exact maps in different order. It was Haven Split Ascent. This time it was Split Haven Ascent. Every game has been closer than we saw previously. Split was 13-3 last time. Version1 taking it. Most previously, Envy blew that one way out of the water, did way better than anybody was expecting and making that a close game. Haven was 13-9 in Envy's favor. Version1 take them into overtime. And Ascent, 13-4. If at the end of the day, what you can take away from this series is both of these teams have grown so much coming into this one from just Challengers 1 when they played themselves or played each other the first time.
Well, look at this. Envy wasting no time, and not surprising, we know how aggressive a team Envy is. They're looking to just lay onto this A side. They're going to get this fly point. They had the long con, basically flank of Finesse potentially, but it may not matter as V1 also wasting no time on this retake, leaving Finesse all by his lonesome on the catwalk. He's in a lot of trouble, and he is out of here. Vanity with the hat trick. V1 taking the initial lead in the second half just as quickly as Envy got the spike down, just as fast as V1 took the round on the retake. That was just such a chaotic quick round.
Yep, and I think what I love about this pistol round is at 6-6, I guess like the feeling of the game is things are even. So the momentum is even. Everybody starting just as if the game just started 0-0, right? So picking up that pistol is absolutely huge to then start to re-swing things into your favor. You can completely forget about that first half, because now you have this pistol. Now you have a Phantom in the hands of FEs, a Bulldog for Vanity. So they're even saying, hey, we want to secure this round, and the bonus is going to be this much easier. And that's the first to fall here to the paint shells as they take the A site. They're not going to be long for this world. The Bulldog only going to bark a bit as they toss the spike on over to Victor to try and get this run it back online soon.
Yeah, this is looking like V1 are gonna have a good chance at retaking this, being a man ahead, having the firepower superiority.
They're all stacked up here, though. They leap onto the site. The Batman comes down. Victor picks up 2 with the classic in hand. Penny is there to trade it out. And that's all she wrote. Only 2 to fall. Bulldog now down on the ground. Should be picked up, and that spike will be given over to Penny to try and get that showstopper online. Either way, the round goes as expected. Version1 pick it up. And Envy are going to find themselves with rifles in hand.
Yeah, no investment, and they got a spike plant. So, I mean, again, that opens up the option to have everything at their disposal rifle-wise, except for the operator, of course. Victor going to have to run it back as well. I thought this is the round you want to get if you're Envy. If you lose this, it's likely 10-6. The economy is going to be too low to challenge. This is not a raceable dish you want to lose, Tanner. Not with this much on the line, and not with, again, if you're Envy, you're supposed to make this. You're like the
Yes.
last favorite left not to make it and not already eliminated with the 100 Thieves gone.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, V1, again, if you win this, you're guaranteed to see one Dark Horse make it to Iceland between them and Cloud9 Blue. Which is another great story in itself. I mean, just depends on what you fancy more.
Cloud9 Blue in that deep in that redemption arc, waiting to play later in the evening, mind you. We still got another series on the day, so if you thought this was a long day already, the winner of this one will play Cloud9 Blue today, which means both teams going to Iceland for North America.
And I believe we have Doug and DDK taking that one,
yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. So you'll have a fantastic group of people to bring you coverage, as well as our amazing analyst desk, which are, you know, still going to be around with the old Belly Bach and Van Silly, the old VBV. I
was
don't
thinking
know what that was about, but
I was actually doing the same thing. BV squared is what I was thinking.
Okay, that's way better than what I said.
That is, you know, I'm glad that we're in the same mindset.
Almost
though,
as
thinking of
clever
stuff
as
like
my
that.
Porsche swing to your Ferrari, whatever you said.
Yeah.
Swarm grenade. Swarm grenade. 30 seconds
As
left.
we are.
Anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we should cast the game. That
Yeah.
seems to be our best bet at doing something like
And
decently well.
right back to it. We're jumping on it.
Thank you.
Is that full buy coming out from Envy as they look to make it quick through market, but because the rifles were in hand in the previous round, Zelsis picks up 3, and that was with the ultimate. He's gonna be sent back, and he still continues to go to work. No, this Bulldog doesn't bark, it bites. Zelsis for 4, Penny for 1, Version 1 for 9.
That might be one of the best run it back values you'll ever see in this Challengers Finals. He gets 3 with it, as you said. You never expect that much impact, but they just keep challenging, and he keeps delivering. Finesse will be gutted that he did not get that trade. Seemed to have the jump on it. Didn't happen. And Zelsis just wreaks havoc on the hopes and dreams of Envy. A quad kill round. That was so dang good. And now this is that 10-6 scenario that we were talking about that was likely to happen as Envy's economy is just not there. Victor does have a Spectre. I don't know that the run it back would be the play in this situation. Hello, Caboose.
And a kill onto Victor.
It's
So
like he just gave
whatever
up.
You were
it's
about
like
to
he went in
say
the corner and
doesn't
said, all
matter.
right. He just accepted his fate.
Wow, absolutely no way out. He thought he would have refuge deep in the corner inside tree room, but the coverage too good from Whippy.
It just seems like V1 is
Oh my
riding
God.
a light speed locomotive that cannot be derailed. And it's headed to Iceland. Though it will have to slow down considerably before light speed, because it is like a few weeks before Iceland. So I mean, they don't need that type of momentum. But they are crushing it right now, and you feel like this is last chance saloon for Envy. You're gonna go for the full buy here. If you don't win this, you're forced buying the rest of the game pretty much. You still have that Victor ult, and it needs to have value. It needs to have almost as much value as Zelsis just did a couple of rounds ago. As we have another pause here. You have to imagine it's tactical from Envy. And, I mean, this is it. Prove why you've been a top 4 team for so long. Prove you still got that composure. This is your time to shine. Again, V1, though, a team that has not been around for that long. Players only recently making the transition this year as a full committed group of Valorant players. Had a tough stage 1, if we're honest. But they were always losing to really good teams. But now they're matching up against those same teams and getting the results. And it could be actually just enough to get themselves over to Iceland. Despite having not much of a resume, they might just do it anyway.
Very close. Hopefully, for Envy, that tactical timeout was just enough to start to slow some of the momentum. Do still have that run it back online, and as you said, it needs to be a big one, just as we saw from Zelsis a few rounds ago. Whippy hanging out underneath heaven, hasn't been spotted just yet. Hot Hand's gonna stop a push coming out from tree room. There Whippy goes.
No
spotted
way.
out to run it back. No more. Taken down, and the tactical timeout doesn't matter. Finesse needs to do the impossible here in a 1v4. A couple of low HP members, but surely we're looking at 11 rounds for version 1 as a Spike is all the way down towards A main. The boombot going to be shot, jump up position, secured by Finesse. He will take his leave and try and dance away from the paint shells.
I mean,
But this is not looking good.
no, it's pretty much all she wrote for this round. As you saw that Victor didn't want to use the run it back because the drone had cleared the site. He didn't want to have to spend it here and now, but they just never did anything to clear that under balcony position. Whippy goes unchecked. No hot hands thrown underneath there. No paint shells thrown under there. No nothing. Just no attention paid whatsoever. Hot heads instead used to block anyone pushing the smoke at the door. And so Whippy is able just to come out unchecked for 3. And then Penny swings out heaven. So now you have like a high-low peak situation where you have to choose your target. And spoiled for choice is not the correct scenario. And so V1 up to 11, and it feels like I just, it's going to be so tough now for Envy to come back. V1 are playing so well. They are playing so confidently, and they are getting great production out of the whole lineup. And if ever Victor were to have impact with the running back, it's got to be now. And Finesse's lockdown has to be key. They got to stop V1 here and now from getting the series point. Effie's getting some intel that Envy are trying to get aggressive at middle, and they've also taken a good bit of chip damage.
Yeah, it was the grav shell combo. Grav, well,
gotcha.
and paint shells. And now with that information...
I was figuring it out. I had it. Thank you. Grab shell.
Grav shell.
Victor does get a
Paint
pick
well.
with the mix well. Right, are we done with that yet? Or okay.
Yes.
Victor does get the
That was the run it
entry
back.
with the run it back. Yes, he did.
You should run.
And the lockdown will now potentially secure the A site. Zelsis, though, that's a great hot hands to slow down, are forced to take damage here at Catwalk. So they're not really building off of that lockdown as much as maybe they were going to hope for, because Caboose couldn't afford to push because he had low HP.
Zelsis not spotted just yet. Caboose eventually falls again to the nanoswarms. Crassy's trying to find something here to try and trade out Whippy as that Cosmic Divide comes on through. Zelsis just going to treat it as the blaze wall, but Mummy comes off the plant and finds the kill. Envy are looking to hang on, and Victor is right there backing up the squad. The lockdown will push him away. The HP is low, but is this doable? Effie's sitting at full health. The spike planted. 2 going to be spotted towards the right. Maybe a couple more spotted towards the left as they look to swing. Effie's still alive. The spike
Back to work.
faked for just a second. Crashy's low HP. Now they know he's off. The spike's going to fake it once more. They line up for him. Mummy not going to find the kill. It's Crashy's instead, and that was too close for comfort.
It really was, man. They almost lined up for him there and gave him a chance. But again, it looked like Envy were done for there. I felt like Zelsis did such a great job with his hot hands to throw it down and kind of make the timing of that lockdown not as good, but then Envy still fight back anyway. Great fragging from Crashies and company. And Crashies, to be honest, has had a bit more of a quiet map in comparison to the expectation of that player. And that was a big time up to step up and get a double. But the problem is Envy still had to repurchase a lot because they lost so many players along the way, including 2 people having to have Spectres now. Meanwhile, fully bought is V1. And again, if Envy loses this, they're force finding the rest of the game with just like really low firepower available to them. So, I mean, they really need to just kind of keep pushing here and now. They can't afford another mistake. One mistake means overtime at best with low economy.
And version 1 just seemed to have such a solid read. You don't have a whole lot of information gathered. Maybe the footsteps heard, but the paint shells. Oh my goodness, between the 5-hole of Finesse, Vanity will find the kill onto Caboose. It's traded back, but 30 health is all Finesse has to his name.
Yeah, that is a tough one. Victor, though, has pizza position. Penny checks it too late. That could kind of save the fact that there's low health of Finesses by getting that mana advantage. You're looking to crunch onto B. B, by the way, wide open for the taking other than Effie's playing the back hall's position here. He steps out, though, grabs a kill on somebody, but luckily this Crashies is quick to trade. Again, he's finding some form here in the home stretch of map 3. Just when he needs it most, Victor continue to put that pressure on back halls, ensuring the spike can get into B site and plant. And now it puts a 2-on-3 retake favoring Envy.
Yep, a bit of utility still available. Zelsis has a blaze wall and a curve ball. Turret gonna go down as well to try and find something. Finesse still on low HP.
One enemy
As he jumps away, Victor
I
playing
love
up
that.
towards Market. Now going to get spotted out, playing the off angle. Zelsis and Victor go toe-to-toe. He's shipped down to 24 HP, tries to get away. The hot hands to try and heal up here, but he might just look to find a save on the way out. At the very least, hurt the economy. It's already bad for Envy. If Zelsis could find a couple of kills
Exactly.
here,
No,
it
you're
gets
right.
a whole lot worse.
Yeah, it does. It means that they're gonna have to keep potentially rebuying lesser weapons on the 3 players that fell. Also, I want to shout out like a small detail there that was actually really great. I'm pretty sure the person who shot the turret down was the boathouse player, so that Victor could remain shrouded in Market and then step out and grab like a pretty clutch kill to shut down the retake. I may be mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened, and that was huge because no one from V1 actually checked Market position, so Victor able to come out and kind of be the guardian angel, the insurance posse, whatever you want to call it. And that's another round for Envy that puts it to 8-11. They are able to buy full rifles for everyone, and now all of a sudden the economic problems have shifted. It's now V1 who are up against the rope with spending power. If they take an L here, Envy very likely will get to 10. And then all of a sudden we're right back to a similar boat to where we were not so long ago.
Take flight.
Run it back online, though, for Victor. Last time was good for 1, and that's just about all you can ask for when you use that ultimate. Caboose also has the showstopper online. We'll see if he's able to find another multi-kill as we saw earlier in the game. Zelsis is going to get spotted. Curveball to try and buy some space, but the Owl Drone give him away. OS 2-2 in ultimates across the board. And Envy, I mean, they're still climbing up from this deficit.
They had to run it back on Victor as well, so that's a big tool to have. And this is where you kind of want to use it because this is where you can break V1's economy. You can close the gap on the scoreboard. This would be a great time to pop it, but they may not need it. They're getting so much map control without it. And now he decides to use it from the Market position, looking to push into sight. He actually has to check back calls instead, which gives Whippy, can cancel out the ult, not allowing it to have too much impact. But Caboose, he's got an ult, and that one's going to land the mark. Whippy down, only Effie's left in the back of the site. He's able to get his 1 man, but Envy are collapsing everywhere else on top of V1, and they're all just drowning in it. It's only Effie's left, and he is not long for this world. Such a big round for Envy to win. Not only winning it, but winning it clean. They maintain all these rifles. They get the Hunter's Fury for crash sheets. And again, the economy is starting to drain for V1.
And this is a round where you probably see a light buy come on through. Although, okay, Zelsis, I'll say, can't afford that Phantom. And it's the defensive end of things, so that Judge might get a bit more value playing in these close angles. Like you said, the economy, it's getting scary for version 1.
It is.
Off the back end of this one, you're expecting Envy, right? When you just take a look at the arsenal alone, Envy should be able to find some extra frags to the shotguns and Sheriff of version 1, but it doesn't necessarily
This round feels
always
so
ring
huge.
true.
Like, you feel if Envy wins, it's a tie game, right? It's 11-11. The money would just be too low for V1. They'd have to concede that. Again, Envy looking for that quicker mid control. It worked wonders last round for the B split, thanks to Victor making that push out Market and kind of opening up some space for his teammates to collapse elsewhere on the map. We can see that there is some cat aggression that was being attempted here, but it might be found out by this drone. And Scratchy's is setting up to fly it out. Effie's meanwhile using his drone to clear out and make sure that no one's made at Market yet, but doesn't really get the chance to check. I mean, his drone got shut down pretty quick. Didn't really get the intel he was hoping for. Now the drone comes out on Cat, and this is where that aggression will get detected. Let's force Zelsis back, forcing to play more standard, and it opens up a little bit more space for Envy to breathe. What's the commitment going to be from Envy? The time is running low. They're going to have to find something quick. Looks like the B split is what's there, and you can see it. V1 are looking to play for the retake on that.
Nice nebulous smoke. The Swarm going to go underneath just to make sure nobody pushes through. You're swinging onto the side. Couple shots through the smoke. Hot hands trying to stop things for now. 1 kill to come through. Whippy picks up 2 huge kills, but they're traded right back. Penny to grab another with the Sheriff and an upgrade. Now down to the last 2. Make it the last one. Running out of time. Mummy has to get the plant, and he needs to find 3 more kills on top of it. The paint shells come through. The shock darts to follow. And it's 81 health separating version 1 from map point, and there it is. They're going to push to 12.
Oh my.
Mummy will fall, and version 1 are trying to close out the series.
All right, I want you to remember this memory. Tanner, if you'll recall, there was this moment in the first half where it looked like V1 were about to win a round on this very site, and you saw Finesse do something with the Spectre as he pushed out back calls through a smoke onto the stairwell. and he gets 2 huge kills that completely throws a wrench in the whole round. What do you see this round? Whippy doing the exact same thing with the exact same agent in the exact same situation. And he basically wins his team the round with that particular push. The timing of it, perfect. Catches Envy completely off guard. Sets up his team to have the advantage on the rest of that retake. And now they are 1 round away from taking Ascent, knocking out the consistent top 3 team in the world, or NA, I should say, in Envy. And again, guaranteeing that at least one of our dark horses in this bracket are going to be headed to Iceland between Cloud9 Blue and V1. Meaning the only favorite going through would be Sentinels. Just 100 Thieves have fallen. Envy will fall. All these other top squads no longer in the mix.
Keeping version 1 from doing that, though, is a full buy from Envy here in this round.
First op for Mummy, I think, on the attacking side as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And he does. Mummy being that impact player that was, you know, kind of highlighted at the beginning, just hasn't been able, I guess maybe not given the opportunities to be the impact player that he needed. We saw a few throughout the series. Descent and fairly quiet. And Spike gets tossed over. Boombot going down, looking to clear things out. Gravwell going to pull him in. And again, it's got the... No, Nanoswarm's going to be popped as well. So maybe a bit premature on that as Whippy. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't need the util. He's got his rifle. He's going to use that lockdown to force him all away. That's the Spike on the floor. But Mummy will pick it up. Now we got ourselves a nice little Venn diagram of lockdowns coming on through. Unfortunately for Finesse, his will fall. The defender lockdown will complete with nobody detained. Crash is to push through the Nebula smoke this time around. Up close and personal. Catches Zelsis. But now it's all up to Mummy once more. He's got an operator in hand, and it's a 1v4. This could be it, Dust. The spike goes down. The darts come through. The paint shells on top. The cosmic divide. He's trying to do everything that he can to keep him in the running. He picks up the first, but can't find the rest. That's gonna do it. Version 1 and their first showing on stage will send home another Titan and continue to fight.